Hey everyone, welcome back to Glam-me-up. Today I'm going to be doing my June beauty tips and tricks video. This is going to be featuring 4 beauty tips that I featured on my blog once a week. So it's going to be the last 4 that I did, and I'm just going to go ahead and explain all of them. So the beauty tips that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is how to treat and fade a blemish, how to prevent eyeliner and mascara from smudging, get glowing skin for summer, and get long-lasting lip color. So if you're interested in any of those beauty tips, then just keep watching. So the first beauty tip is how to treat and fade a blemish. Now I get the occasional blemish here and there, and they can be really annoying trying to get them to go away, and then they always leave a mark afterwards. So I found a way how to make it go away faster and prevent the mark from forming and making the mark fade away. Of course, nothing's going to work like magic and make it go away overnight, but these are some things that are going to help it. So after I wash my face, I always apply a toner. This is a Neutrogena alcohol-free toner, and this works really well because it's alcohol-free. It's not going to strip your face of any of your natural oils, but it is going to get rid of any extra residue or makeup after you wash your face. So this is really important to do, especially around blemish areas, because if they're kind of like, if they can be like kind of leaking out, or if they have bacteria still left over, this can just wipe it away. That way you have something clean to start with. So the next thing you're going to definitely want to do, and this is before you apply your moisturizer, is use a spot treatment. Now these are my 2 favorite ones. Spot treatments either contain salicylic acid or they contain benzoyl peroxide, so you got to figure out which one works best for you. I find that benzoyl peroxide is a lot more potent and it's going to work faster than salicylic acid. Salicylic acid can be very powerful too, it's just whatever works best for you. This is the Clean and Clear Advantage Mark treatment, and this contains 2% salicylic acid, I believe. Yeah. And then this one is the Mary Kay Acne Treatment Gel, and this contains 5% benzoyl peroxide. This is very powerful, and it usually dries up a pimple over like 2 nights. Sometimes even in 1 night this can dry it up. This is just one that I have, but you can get any of them like at the drugstore as long as they contain 5% benzoyl peroxide or even something less depending on how bad your skin is. It doesn't really matter what brand they are or what they are. They all contain the same active ingredient. You just gotta look at the percentage. Now what I like to do at night if I have a blemish that needs to be dried up is I just glob the spot treatment up on it, like a really big blob of it, and I don't blend it in. This is going to allow it to really sit on your skin overnight and continue to soak in. This can also kind of dry out your skin around it, so if you don't want your skin to dry out, you can apply a thin layer of the spot treatment and then apply your moisturizer like a thick night cream, and then apply the spot treatment back over it again. This is kind of like creating a sandwich layer. That way it's drying it up, but then it's also moisturizing it with your moisturizer. So applying the spot treatment, then your moisturizer, then the spot treatment again is going to treat the blemish without drying out your skin. Also, another thing that you can do is apply the spot treatment directly on the blemish and not blend it in. That way you're not spreading it around the skin around it, because that's usually the area that gets dry. If you just kind of squeeze it out right on the tube onto it and don't touch it, then it's just going to affect that area and it's not going to leave you with like a patchy area around it. So then after I've treated the blemish to where it's dried up and it doesn't hurt to the touch anymore, I apply Neosporin to it, and this is just the generic version of it. This is a triple antibiotic ointment, and this is the Equate brand from Walmart. And all this is, it's basically a petroleum-based treatment, and it's an antibacterial ointment. So it's going to kill any bacteria, but since it's got like the Vaseline kind of texture, it's going to keep it moist. That way it's going to treat the blemish. This is used for treating cuts, and it heals the skin and makes the skin heal up quicker. So it's the same concept like if you've got broken skin from a blemish or anything like that. It's really going to dry it up. It's really going to like moisturize it and then help it heal, and it's going to help the scab or the skin heal over a lot better. And apply this at night because it is greasy. You don't want to apply it before you apply makeup, and just glob it up on it and leave it overnight, and then it will be lighter in the morning, I promise. It always works to lighten things, and I keep using it for about a week and then the mark's completely gone. So this is pretty much my skincare trick, is using this stuff to fade blemishes. Even if I have an old acne scar, like one that was really bad, I just keep applying this every single night and it will eventually fade. It's kind of almost like a scar treatment. Like I think this does have scar treatment stuff in it. But it's used for like scrapes, cuts, and burns and stuff, which is pretty much just when the skin is broken, it needs to be healed, or if you have a scab or something. So this is really going to help heal, you know, a leftover acne mark as well. So my next beauty tip is how to keep eyeliner and mascara from smudging. It can be very annoying when you apply eyeliner to your waterline or even mascara and you get like little dots, you know, throughout the day, or your eyeliner smudges. That's not cute to have raccoon eyes. So I found some ways to prevent that in the hot summer heat, or if you sweat or you just have watery eyes, this stuff's going to definitely help. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you're using a good eyeliner. If you're using a pencil eyeliner, I recommend using one that's like waterproof or something. So my favorite ones are the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide-On liners. Now I've heard some good things about one at the drugstore. I think there's a Jordana one that's really good, but I don't have that. But I do have the Urban Decay one, and this one works great. It's very creamy and it just blends nicely, and I don't have a problem with smudging with this. But one thing you want to definitely do, and this applies for any cream products that you apply to your face, you always want to set it with a powder. This is MAC's Carbon eyeshadow, and I just take an angled brush after I apply this and just kind of dab it on my lash line, and especially right here in the corners, because that's where I tend to get the smudge a little bit throughout the day from my eyes watering, and it works miracles. Like, this keeps your eyeliner on your waterline all day long if you apply eyeshadow over it. You just kind of dab it on lightly and push it between your eyelashes, and your eyeliner is not going to go anywhere. Also, another problem that I get, like I was saying, how it smudges out in the corner when I have like a winged look. When I'm doing my wing with a liquid eyeliner, this is the L'Oreal Carbon Black Linear Intense one, is when I do the eyeliner out like this, I also take it down and connect it with the liquid to the bottom lash line, because the liquid is definitely waterproof. It tends to stay on a lot better and not move like the cream eyeliner does or the pencil. So I use the liquid to draw the eyeliner down here because that's where it tends to smudge, and it will keep it on a lot longer. So the same thing goes if you're going to be using a gel liner. This is the Maybelline Eye Studio one. These are my favorite ones. They are waterproof. I always set them with an eyeshadow or something, or any kind of powder, and it will really keep it in place because these are very creamy. Another thing that's going to keep your mascara from smudging, and of course your eyeliner too, is using a setting powder around your eyes. Because if you don't set your foundation around your eyes, it's just going to stay creamy, and then your eyelashes are going to touch, and you might sweat or something, and you're going to have little dots, or your eye, it will smudge down here on the bottom. So just take a small brush and take a setting powder. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, and I'm in light medium, which this is actually too light for me. I should probably go one shade darker. But this works perfect because it's very light and just kind of to dust it around my eyes, and it will keep everything from smudging down, and it keeps my mascara from smudging. So my next beauty tip is how to get glowing skin for summer. Everyone wants to have kind of that bright, glowing looking skin for summer. You don't want your skin to be dull from like the winter, cold weather and everything. So I found some ways to make your skin look more glowy, to actually make your skin more glowy, and some makeup ways to make it just look like it's more glowy. So the first thing you want to do when you're washing your face is make sure you exfoliate. I like using the Biore Pore Unclogging Scrub and then my Olay Professional ProX brush. I have a review on that. I will link it. But it really helps to get the dead skin off. It's gentle enough to use every day, but I tend to use it about every other day with the brush, and then the other days I just use my hands with the scrub. And it really just helps to get off the dead skin. And if your skin has dead skin on it, it's going to look more dull. It's not going to look as radiant. It's not shiny because it is dead, so you want to make sure you get that off. But you don't want to over scrub your skin because then it can damage it. So you want to just do it lightly, use a light scrub. If your skin is sensitive, they make scrubs for that and everything. But I would not use like a harsh sugar scrub or anything that's made out of like, natural kernels or anything, because that can really damage your skin. Make sure it's got the plastic beads in it, or I don't know what they're made out of, but those little bead things, make sure they're the artificial ones so they don't damage your skin. And then you want to definitely apply a toner. That's going to add the moisture back onto your skin that was taken away from washing it, and it's going to remove any impurities. So definitely use the toner afterwards and make sure it's alcohol free. Then you want to make sure you moisturize your skin. I really like the Aveeno Positively Radiant one, and it's got SPF in it, so make sure you have SPF because you don't want your skin to burn. That's going to make it look more dry. So make sure you're using a good moisturizer, and at night I like to use a heavier night cream like the Olay, firming night cream or something like that, because my face tends to get really dry after, scrubbing it, after wearing makeup and all that stuff. So it's good to use a heavy night cream to let it kind of sit in overnight and really moisturize your skin. Even if you have oily skin, you want to make sure you're always moisturizing it, because if you dry it out even more, you're going to get more oil. Your face is going to try to counteract that, so you want to make sure that you aren't drying your face out too much if it's oily. So use a light moisturizer. You can even use the mattifying one if you get too oily. I know Clean & Clear has a new mattifying moisturizer, so try that out too. So then when you're applying your makeup, to make it more glowy, you want to make sure you're using a light foundation. This is going to be good for the summer too, because you don't want to cake up your face. So my favorite is the CoverGirl Nature Luxe, and this contains cucumber extract and some other stuff, so it's going to be really light on your skin. It's not going to clog your pores, and it's kind of like a tinted moisturizer, but it's more coverage. So if you don't need a lot of coverage, then use, a regular tinted moisturizer. This is good too if you do need more coverage, but it's not full coverage at all. So this is a really nice, foundation that keeps your skin glowy, but it's not like a shiny foundation. There's no shimmer in this or anything. You're still going to need some powder, that way your face doesn't get too oily. So I just use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural like I showed before, because this is really light. But in the summer, you want to only apply it where you're definitely going to get oily, like down your T-zone, on your chin, and on your forehead right here. Because you want the rest of your face to still stay glowy, so you only want to mattify the places you know are going to get oily. The rest aren't going to get as oily, so they're fine to not put powder on, just down the center and everything. Or if your face is really oily, you can still apply the powder, but then just use a highlighter. So that brings me to using a good highlighter. You can just use a shimmery eyeshadow if you want, but my favorite highlighter is the Revlon Color Stay Mineral Finishing Powder, and this is in Brighten. And it's kind of like the MAC Mineralized Skin Finishes, but it's way cheaper. It's only like $10. and it's pink and it's got shimmer and it's just really nice color for my skin tone. So what I do is I take a small brush and I just kind of brush it right here and down my nose. I put on my cupid's bow and even up underneath my eyebrow, and it really helps to brighten up my face. It's such a huge difference. And then when I have the contour and the blush with it too, it really just gives a nice finish and makes your skin look very glowy. If you use a cream highlighter, make sure you also set it with the powder highlighter, that way it doesn't smear off or anything. So my next beauty tip is how to get long-lasting lip color. Now this is something that's very aggravating for me. If you apply lip gloss or lipstick in the morning and then it's gone after 2 hours or after you even just touch your lips, it can be very frustrating. So I found some ways to make it definitely last longer. So if you want your lip color to last longer, I would avoid using a lip gloss. Lip glosses are just slick, they're sticky, they just wipe right off. There are some lip glosses that are long lasting, but they're still not going to last as long as a lipstick. So if you want your lips to still look moisturized, you can get a really moisturizing lipstick, or you can just apply a lip balm under it and kind of just blot it away and then apply the lipstick over it. That way it's still moisturized, but it's not like slippery, because you wouldn't want to apply your lip balm and have it slimy, then the lipstick's not even going to stick to it. So definitely blot off the chapstick or whatever you used before, that way it goes on nicely. So some good lipsticks that I think last long and are still moisturizing are the Maybelline Color Sensational ones. I have this one in Red Revival, which is supposed to be like a really classic red, and I have it in Mauve Me, which is a really pretty mauve color. And these are very creamy lipsticks, and they just go on nicely, and they do last a long time. But of course, if you wipe them off or you eat, they are going to still come off some. I would avoid those long wear lipsticks like the liquid ones, because they're very drying and they just kind of seep into the cracks on your lips and they just kind of flake off. I haven't found any that are good, so if you know of any of those long wear like 24-hour ones that are good, then definitely tell me in the comments below, because I'd like to find one that's good. But all the ones I've tried, like the Maybelline ones, the Revlon ones, they're just very drying and they just flake right off your lips, and they all kind of only stick to the outer rims, and then you get like that weird look on your lips where it's all worn off in the center. So I would avoid those. You can find ways to make your regular lipstick last longer. So what you want to do to keep your lipstick lasting longer is apply a concealer around the rims of your lips. You don't want to get it on your lips, but just kind of around the outside. And this is the MAC Studio Finish one. This is great for that. And then set it with a powder. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural. And just kind of dust that around your lips, and that's going to keep it sealed in so it doesn't bleed. And then use a good lip liner. I really like the NYX ones. And then also, this is a clear lip liner. This is Maybelline Sensational Clear Lip Liner, and this is good because if you apply a lip liner and then fill your lips in with it, it's a sticky, texture, and it's matte, so it's going to make your lipstick stick, and it's going to line your lips and make them more defined. This really helps your lipstick stay on longer. And then you can kind of blot it a little bit and dust some more powder over it, and then just apply your regular lipstick, and then kind of blot it more, and then just apply it again. That's going to ensure that it's going to stay really long because you've blotted off, the oil and then applied it again. So applying the layers like that is really going to make it stay on longer. If you really want to use a lip gloss, you can always just apply a lip liner underneath to make it last longer. So that is it for my beauty tips and tricks of the month of June. I hope you all enjoyed this. Make sure you check out my blog descriptions on all of these, and I will link all the blog posts that go along with each tip, that way you can get a full description, and I'll have product links and all that stuff. So make sure you check out the blog for all the product links and everything if you're interested in getting into this stuff. Let me know if these tips helped you all and if you're going to try anything out, and leave your tips in the comments below, that way they can be in the next video. So that's it for today. I'll talk to you soon. Bye everybody.